This is Xbox Ultimate Podcast. Let's see, episode 191. Yes, 191, 9 away from episode 200. We're gonna have a fun show tonight. Yesterday was a holiday. It's July 4th here in the States. Had a lot of fun, so we didn't have a PM in the PM. There's not a lot of gaming news this week, really, because of holiday week here. But there is some cool stuff because there's a good game that did come out that some of us are playing and spending some time with. And it also, we got some interesting information about Activision Blizzard games could be coming in August to Game Pass. It's not a big surprise. We already kind of had a show alluding to this and speculating on this possibility recently. But there's been some fuel to the fire. It's funny how we have a speculation show about this very thing, and then like almost a week later, all these insiders come out and is like, hey, this is happening almost exactly like you predicted, Pong, in a way. It's interesting. But also, there's the July 4th kind of marks, in a way, the second half of this year, right? The second half of 2024, and leading into the whole holiday season, this massive pipeline of games we have coming for Xbox is really all going to hit the ground running soon, and looking forward to that. So we're going to want to kind of have a recap of what to expect in the Xbox pipeline for this insanely bloated 2024, and how it's just absolutely there's going to be so much to play, and I don't know how we're going to how we're going to make the time to do it, because it's getting ludicrous. But let's get to the panel today. We got Fuzzy. What's up, Fuzz? How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Glad to be here with you guys. Yeah, it's been a lot of gaming on the side. Fell back into Division 2, and also trying to split some time between that and the First Ascendant and Forza Horizon 5. Trying to still collect all the cars and everything. A little bit of GT7 mixed in there, and what is that? The Wakes Deep or something like that. The thing where you're on
still Wakes
platform.
Deep.
Yeah. Still playing that, using that for my daily achievements and stuff. But just having a lot of fun gaming. But glad to be here with you guys, man.
Yeah, Brand. Everybody's been talking about that game. I haven't touched it yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to. It's not usually my kind of game, but when everybody says it's really, really good, it's kind of like maybe I might have to dive into it. But how's it going with you, Pong? We didn't get your usual list of grazings because we didn't have PM in the PM this week. We fucking didn't have PM in the PM last week either, dude.
2 weeks. 2 weeks off, bro. 2 weeks off. It's been crazy.
What happens when you have 2 weeks off? It creates like a month gap.
It does. It does.
Because you have the show before that was a week prior, and then the show after is another week after. So, and then you have the 2 weeks in between. So it'll be 1 month in between PM and the PMs. Almost 4 weeks.
Yeah, right around there. Yeah, not bad.
I can math.
Yeah, you can math sometimes. I'm in holiday mode. I'm in vacation mode. Yeah. Nice 4-day weekend here. Got off early Thursday. Got some shit done, and but otherwise I'm not grazing. The First Ascendant is it. So when did this actually come out? When did it come out? Thursday, right? Did it come out Thursday?
Yeah.
Was it Thursday?
Yeah, I think so.
Thursday.
Okay,
yeah, I think Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steam is saying I have 32 hours in. So yeah, this is what I've been doing. I've been playing the First Ascendant. So I hit level 40 today on one of my characters, which is max character. There is mastery levels overall. It's not just for individual characters, but your overall. I'm almost mastery level 10 now at this point. First Ascendant. I haven't had a looter shooter like this in a while. So for me, when Fuzzy talks about Division 2, obviously we ran that thing. We spent so much time going back through Division 2 again. Obviously we had a great time with Tiny Tina's Wonderland. There's been other looter shooters in between there. This game is great. It's free to play. I suggest that anybody don't listen to any nonsense out there right now. Just go download it and try it. See if it's for you. There is a lot of good stuff right here that you don't normally get out of the gate. Is it perfect? Yeah. Of course it's not perfect. This is a games as a service. This is going to be a game that they're trying to push forward. It is definitely is if I think everybody was correct, especially Steel early on calling it Warframe, and now everybody's kind of bandwagon onto that as well. It is Warframe meets Destiny 2 and Anthem. If they all had a baby together, that's what you're getting out of this freaking game. There is, again, things that sure they got to work on. They had some server issues, but they got them fixed. The servers were down. But the game itself, the gameplay itself is fantastic. And for everybody acting surprised, like that this is a looter shooter or that this is like Warframe or Destiny 2 or that you are grinding. I don't know how many times we have to say that. That's the purpose of a looter shooter. If you're not into the grind, if you're not into that loop, then no, the game's not going to be for you. But it is no different than Diablo in any way, shape, or form when it comes to that loop. But this game runs extremely well. I'm playing on PC. I haven't tried it on the Xbox yet. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get into it, Mav, but yeah, it's been first ascendant. Every waking moment that I've had when I'm not doing something else, it's been first ascendant.
Yeah.
Steel and I got to run some this morning. Flawless. It was fantastic. It was just a great game.
Yeah, man. I've been playing it too. Not as much as you have, but I've played quite a bit to understand what the game is, the concepts of it. Like, I got a lot of praise to throw around for this game, actually. For a free-to-play game, I see a lot of like conversation and debates about the First Descendant, about stuff. It's like that I don't really understand some of the backlash on some of the things. Some of the monetization stuff, some of the gameplay
it's
loop
aggressive
things, or yeah,
it's aggressive,
man. But they're giving a lot of great content completely for free.
There's a ton of content here,
like
a ton.
So I saw that some of the monetization stuff that I saw Paul Tasty had made a tweet about. I guess you're only allowed to have 10 descendants or whatever, and then after that they charge like $1 per or something like that.
Yeah.
Which for me, I'm like, okay. But that was like a huge thing to people. For me, I'm like, that's 10 different characters, right? Like, and for free in a free to play game.
Yep.
That you're getting complete access to in a game full of content and enjoyment that you can have with the 10 characters completely free and only $1 per after if you decide to go that way. And or if you are done with them, you can delete and still use those same slots. So for that was one thing I see a lot of people getting upset over. I think people want free-to-play games to not have any monetization.
Which is okay.
I don't understand like what people sometimes want for them to come up with for free-to-play games, or they're just asking, hey, they don't want free-to-play games anymore. They just want to pay $70 for this game. But man, if you were to tell a child, Mav, right? If you were to tell me, even like a teenager, hey, man, one day you're going to get to play a game like this that has like hundreds of hours of endless amounts of content that you're going to constantly get to keep playing forever and ever. It's polished. It has great fucking gameplay. It has tons of guns. It has great characters. It has a story. It has all this stuff. And guess what? You're going to get to play it completely free, dude. We're not going to ask for you for anything, but if you decide you want to get some cosmetics, or if you decide that you want to play and go far beyond what we're giving you for free, there's options for you to pay to expand your experience if you're into it. If you were to tell the child me that was a possibility of our future, I'd have been like, holy shit. Because this game has a million times more content than games we're paying $50, $60 for way back then.
Yep.
So for me, when people have this discourse about monetization, I'm like, man, this is really scummy of them to only allow 10 slots for this, or to charge for cosmetics, or for the, like, what do you want them to do for free? Do you want them just there to be everything? Like, they have to make money somehow for it to be even justifiable to try and run that business that way. So I don't know. I know that some people don't like free to play stuff. But you know what? There's other alternatives. but I'd much rather them have a free-to-play game and have this stuff than a $70 game and have this stuff, which a lot of $70 games have some of this stuff still in it. Including a lot of Xbox games. You can look at Animal Crossing. You want to say people that love the Switch, all this stuff. Okay, Animal Crossing, right? You want to say what's worse? Animal Crossing, you're only allowed one island per fucking Switch. It doesn't matter if you have multiple profiles on the same Switch or anything. You can only have one island there. So if you have one console, and you're sharing with somebody else, they are stuck with your progress, and they are going to affect your game. That's the only way to do it, right? What is worse? Anyway, that's just a little bit of rant to scene about some people complaining about this game with monetization. It's a free-to-play fucking game. But besides that, Prey is on First Ascendant. Man, it's polished. I'm having a blast. The guns are awesome. The characters, the movement, the fluidity, the enemies, like the levels. I'm just having a blast. And my favorite thing about First Ascendant is, for me, who's like, sometimes these games can be a little convoluted and I have trouble diving in, being away. This is really easy to jump into, spend like 20 minutes if you want to, and then jump out, and you're able to get like 3 or 4 things accomplished and have some damn fun. Right. And man, I don't know. It's just a really good fucking game, dude. I really appreciate what they've done with this. And I was not excited for this game. I was not hyping it up. I was not really looking too much into this stuff, like I know you and Steel were or whatever. But for me, I was just like, hey, yeah, I'll check it out. And dude, I am super glad I did, because it's a blast. And maybe because I didn't have these crazy expectations or something, maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm enjoying it. Like, I don't know.
Even if you had crazy expectations, though, even if you had crazy expectations, like, again, if it's not the game for you, if it just doesn't appeal to you, okay, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
Again, we're never here to argue about who should like what. Okay. That doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's just but this game was explained in full. They had betas. They showed everybody what this game was. They told you all what it was going to be. Like, I don't know why people act like this was presented as something else. Like, it is almost exact. And again, I didn't even play the beta, but I watched Steel play it. I've talked to Steel now behind the scenes about it multiple times. Like, he's like, this is exactly what they showed us. They've just improved everything since the beta. Like, they have done a ton of work. Again, the monetization is aggressive, but this isn't the first game to do it, and it's always optional. If you want to this is PvE only. There is no PvP here. We've started this whole thing again of pay to win in PvE. People, I don't or will never agree in a PvE game that there's pay to win. You don't even compare stats to anybody on your squad at the end of the battles. You get an overview of your
division things where they started banning people for like taking advantage of like things in the game. You know, like
Fuzzy, like Fuzzy.
Exactly. Fuzzy spent like thousands of hours in it, and that there was like some kind of exploit in the game, and he did it at some time or whatever, and like they banned him, and it's like he's not affecting anybody whatsoever when he had done that. Like the entire community was learning about those exploits, and it was just taking advantage of a flaw in the game. Remember the Destiny loot cave at the launch originally with the first Destiny?
I was there.
Yeah,
I did it.
Yeah, me too. I stared at that fucking hole for 2 hours and just unloading bullets. I was like, this is fucking awesome, and I don't care.
Awesome. That's a looter, man. Again,
exactly.
I just don't get it, because everything and this whole people spreading misinformation. Steel's been trying to clamp this down on X a little bit too, spreading information about how the alts are pay to win, or you got to pay to get the alts. No, you can grind out everything except for some of the cosmetics. And if you want to get an XP boost or a gold boost or whatever the hell for a couple days, like, yeah, you pay extra for that. And some of the outfits you can't grind for, but like the ultimates, everything else is exactly as every other looter shooter has been at this point in 2024, where you can grind it out. You can earn it all. Is it going to take you some time? Yes, that's the loop. That's always been the loop. They've just figured out new ways to entice people to keep doing the loop more and more. That's what it's about. Again, if this doesn't do it for you, if this isn't the dopamine hit for you because you just don't, then don't play it. I saw a whole article, Mav, a whole article on VGC. It's an opinion piece, and that's fine. But this guy's out here. Playing the first Descendant made me realize I don't want any more of these free-to-play shooters. Well, fine. You've got fucking 2,000 other games right now. Go fucking play them. What the fuck? Like, it's not like they're shoving this down your throat. Like, this is the only game to play right now. Like, Jesus, man. Like, again, Nexon has put out a game that in 2024 is a rarity. It came out the gates with minimal issues. Yes, they had server issues. They were down for an extended period of time. They fixed those servers. Again, that happens a lot in these massively online games, right? Okay, they did that. But otherwise, like this game, the gunplay, I was talking to Steel today while we were running. The gunplay I'd put up against almost any other third-person shooter right now, including Destiny.
The movement,
it's
too,
right
man.
up there. The movement is great. Is it like the best ever grapple? No, but does it feel pretty damn good? Yeah, it does. And again, it just came out on freaking Thursday.
Yeah.
Like the work that they put in to get it to this state in Unreal Engine 5 looks gorgeous. There's moments in this game. I don't have ray tracing on the PC, but there's moments in this game that are drop dead gorgeous. The cinematics, some of the cinematics are ridiculous. Like, is the story mind blowing? No. Is it earth shattering? Is it going to change your outlook on life? No. But is it good? Yes. Does it have twists and turns? Yes. Are there some of the characters extremely interesting? Oh yeah, there are some really cool moments in it. It's got everything. And again, we are so accustomed to games, even the $70 games coming out in 2020s that are broken, that don't perform well, that have all these issues. Here's a freaking free-to-play game from the studio that drops in and is just doing great. Like, that's all you can say about it. And if you're into looter shooters, this is a perfect game to jump into. No risk. It's free to play. I right away, 2 hours. That's all it took me. Under 2 hours, actually. Playing the game, seeing how it was running, and sitting there with a smile on my face going, holy shit, this is freaking great. To decide for myself, I'm flipping these guys money. I bought the 3,000 pack right out the gate. I flipped them $70. I said, this is worth full price. I know I'm going to get my money's worth out of this game. I flipped them full price. I haven't spent it all, but I've still got like 2,000 left, but I got multiple outfits for Sharon. I opened up Sharon without having to earn her. I opened up Freyna as well. I haven't played her yet, but I opened her up as well, just in case I want to try her out down the road. And I still got 2,000 credits. It's not outrageous. Yes, if I was going to get Bunny and I was going to buy the ultimate Bunny, is it expensive? Yeah, it's expensive, but that's a choice you can make. Otherwise, just go freaking earn her. That's how this all works. And everybody acts every time one of these games comes out like this is something brand new. Like Nexon is the only company that came out with some monetization that was aggressive. Go check out Warframe.
Yeah.
Go check out Warframe's prices. That's aggressive. But again, it's a choice. It's a personal choice. It'll always be, what is it worth to you? But if you don't care about how your character looks, if you don't care about having the ultimate character out the gate, Sharon doesn't even have an ult yet. So I'm just running her. I'm not even going to have the chance to grind an ult right now because she doesn't have one. But if you choose to do that, you've got hundreds of hours of gameplay here, and it's cross-play, cross-saves, cross progression. How many people are doing that? I put up a post on X of how freaking what a W it was that I was running with a bunch of randos, and all of a sudden I looked up at the names and I had an Xbox player, I had a Steam player, and I had a PlayStation player with me. That is freaking awesome. Yeah. And for Nexon to do that, again, they're doing so many things right out the gate. I am willing to give them a whole lot of bonus points, and I'm willing to let little stuff that they do have to fix kind of slide. I'm willing to let the monetization be what it is, and I'll choose whether or not I flip them more money after the $70 I gave them. But again, 32 hours since Thursday. I think I'm liking the freaking game, and I think it's been worth my time, and it's been worth my $70 so far, and I'm not even close to endgame yet. Steel was trying to find endgame. Normally, Mav, think about this. Normally, when one of these games comes out, there is a group of people who run religiously nearly 24 hours a day and get to endgame and all of a sudden start putting out videos or putting out posts about whether or not the endgame is good or bad. Steel could not find a single video on the endgame. Not a single video today on the endgame. That means that's how big this game is. That's how much content there is here. It's freaking fantastic, man. And people just need to chill out. Go play something else that is in line with what you like. Go play something else that doesn't have the monetization. Go pay full price for one of these freaking, again, like 2,000 games that's come out in the past 2 years that are just freaking off the charts. Go spend your money there then. Stop complaining and stop nagging on this on games that you just have no interest in or didn't even take the time to look at what the devs were putting out beforehand and learn about the freaking game, right? If you're not going to do that, then obviously the game isn't your bag of tea.
Yeah.
So go somewhere else and go play a game and find something you enjoy and start talking about the shit you enjoy instead of every time a game comes out that's not for you, we got to bitch and complain all the time and spend time making posts about that game nonstop. Go find something you do like and make those posts. That's what I want to see out here. Sorry, I have my own rant.
No, it's great, man. I've seen a lot of comparisons people are making to the, this game. I saw, like this is Destiny meets Warframe, kind of all this other stuff. I got a weird one for me. Like the vibes and the feelings I get when I'm playing First Descendant reminds me of the vibes and feeling I got playing another game way back in the day.
Okay.
And that's Phantasy Star Online.
Oh, that's a good throwback. I mean, again,
I know it's not like obviously it's not just like that, but the way
I get what you're saying though.
You're in a hub kind of area. You go out and do these short missions, and you can do them pretty quickly. There's a good variety in the character. Obviously, Phantasy Star is much different, but like the way there's something about it, it's scratching the same itch with the gameplay loop and the style and like the feelings I'm getting with this game. And I love how fast and how good the like random matchmaking is when you decide to go do a match. Because I'm just doing the like public mission or whatever. I'll go to the mission, I'll hit it, and it'll just instantly put me in with a group of people. It's just like that, dude. Yep. And we're just run through together. And it's like playing co-op with people and everybody's cooperating and helping each other. And it feels like not forced. It feels non-invasive, but you still have that community kind of feel with it. And it's just, they did a fantastic fucking job with that. There's no issues with it. You can decide to do it by yourself if you want to as well. It tells you about your estimated time to complete the mission before you do it too. So I look at that. I'm like, okay, this one says like 20 minutes or less or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking about doing it. I love little like things like that. You have expectation for loot. I love the loot in this game so far. I see people complaining about the loot. I'm loving the loot so far. There's a ton of different options and varieties of different weapons already. I got this pistol that's just annihilating fuckers with headshots. Just like one-shotting everybody. And I'm like, God, this thing is awesome, right? But I see everybody else using something else that I'm not using, and it looks like they're having a great time. The abilities, I'm using the girl character. I don't know her name, but she has the ice abilities and stuff.
The opening one.
Yeah, yep. And I'm using her, and like the abilities are fun to play with, and I'm having a great time. I know there's a lot I have to learn about this game, like that, because I kind of skipped through a lot of shit and stuff,
Of course,
it's not skipping stuff is not affecting my enjoyment for it. It's pretty simple for me to figure out, right? And they did a good job. It's kind of like a welcoming, easy to jump into game that feels less cumbersome than some others, even though it has all the same stuff, right? So
correct.
Hey Fuzz, you've been playing First Descendant?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have anywhere near as many hours, only because I'm bouncing from game to game, but like I think on one character I'm level 18, the other one just the opening level 10 or whatever, because I keep on dying because I have my first character spec'd a certain way, so it's pretty much like I get health on kill, and it doesn't seem to be working for Bunny right now, but it's because I haven't paid attention to how you can do, like the thing I like is that you actually have like different loadouts that you can set up and set the weapons up different ways. You can have the little modules set up different ways, and you have to keep in mind like the economy of how many points you have left and stuff like that, which my first character I'm pretty happy with, although I keep on getting lesser drops than like the ones I had before, so I got to do another one, the bigger boss type battles to get the better drops, but having fun with it. And I guess I've been off of social media for a bit, so I don't see all the complaints. But I like for me, comparing it to things like Outriders, comparing it to Anthem, comparing it to Destiny and Division. I would say for out the gate, other than like, okay, we had a time frame where the servers were down. They gave us some rewards as a "we are sorry" kind of deal, but there were times where even when it was supposed to be down, people were still getting in, and I was one of those that got in and completed 2 missions, and then the third mission was like about to complete, and it was like, phew. I was like, well, I should have listened to the message that yeah, they're doing server maintenance, but yeah, I like a lot of the things you pointed out, like the quick match type of deal. The fact that it's crossplay. I haven't tried the cross progression stuff, which I'm about to give a try because I have it. I don't have it downloaded on my PC yet, but I do have it on my Xbox. At some point, I want to make sure I get all of my friends list type of thing, so that way I can have it where if you're on PC and I'm on Xbox, or if I'm on PC and my friends are on Xbox, I can find them and stuff like that. But yeah, the loot, the feel, I would say is an improvement over everything I've seen so far that's out there. I still have a soft spot for the Division just because of it being more of a kind of sort of realistic military with like sci-fi tech type of stuff to it type of deal. But overall, I would say this for me outdoes Destiny. Like it took me going through vanilla Destiny 1, which I hated, and it was because I didn't either understand it or didn't have a group of friends that always play with when I was on PlayStation, because it's like when you find randoms, nobody had mics, everybody's just running through everything, not doing anything. They're just running straight for the boss type of thing, which I didn't understand. That was my first looter shooter. And when Destiny 2 came out, it took me a while to get mechanics of it as far as upgrading stuff compared to like the Division. This right off the bat is self-explanatory for the most part. The only thing is I have a bunch of materials which I'm pretty sure I can use for crafting, which I haven't tried that yet. I want to wait until I get to closer to level 40 for one of the characters. But yeah, for the most part, love the animations, love the visuals, with the exception of sometimes where you're like sidestepping at like the hub world, where you can tell this thing is running smoothly at like 60, but every now and then you'll see some of the animations look like they're 30. But for a game that's in UE5, the fact that they have it this polished, I don't know
Yeah.
what kind of magic they're wielding over there, but they need to teach some other studios how to do that. But yeah, for a first like run on this, like remember like how Outriders had it where some people were losing all their gear and running around in underwear, or they couldn't even start a match because they didn't have their gear anymore. Nothing like that has happened. Sure, some people had some like delays before they got their drops, but they are still getting their drops. The fact that I ran out of space in one instance where couldn't pick up stuff and started deleting stuff, but still missed a whole bunch of other stuff I didn't pick up. Well, it's there, even if it's rare. It's not like Diablo where it's only like the rares and above, or the legendaries and above kind of thing. Anything that you missed, it's there kind of deal. So that's a good thing or a good step from that. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. Have to learn how to run or play as Bunny, and then I'll figure out if I want to give them money to unlock some other characters, because there's some other ones that I kind of like the look of better that I'll probably wind up opening up, at some point. But so far for a free to play, I don't have any complaints other than I got to figure out the better way to merge my friends list.
Yeah.
I can probably figure that out. So that's it.
Yeah, man.
Matchmaking is freaking fantastic. Like it is really good. Steel did it the first day with Decado. Decado was on Xbox. Steel was on PC. Flawless. Steel and I on PC this morning. Instantaneous. World to world travel. It's like 1 second, 2 seconds max. Whenever he would pick a mission or whatever the case may be. Like Mav said, matchmaking on with randos. I haven't had one. Steel and I had one this morning that took like 10 seconds. Before that, I hadn't had one that took more than 6 seconds to find a match in any of the areas so far. Like it has been just awesome. And again, you can join in the open world when you run around doing the open world missions. you can join somebody else's mission. If you're just running around and there's a couple randos running one of the missions and you just happen to walk in there, you don't even have to go to the start point where you start the mission. You can do it from there. It'll say join and you can join right in with other people. Otherwise, you can just run into the battle, shoot somebody, and instantly puts you into their party, and you get credit for that entire mission and get all the rewards. It's freaking
I've been
awesome.
doing that. I fucking love it, man. It makes it fun just to run around and kind of fuck around and just have some fun. They did a lot of things right with this. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be for everybody, you know, because we all look for different things, you know, in these games, right? But they did a lot of things in here that are right for me.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you know, I've seen this game. I've been watching the trailers whenever they come out. I'm like, that looks really cool, whatever, you know. But how many of these kinds of games do we have that always have these great trailers or great looking gameplay or whatever, and they kind of come and they go, they disappear or whatever, and they come out and they're not really what a lot of people hope for and all this kind of stuff. This one is like beyond my expectations, actually, as far as like the quality, amount of content, the polish, and the fun, right? And that's what it's all about. We're playing fucking video games here, you know. Yep. And if it's not for you, it's free, and it's like you didn't waste anything trying it, you know. And if plenty of other things to go play, including this crazy stacked second half we have to look forward to, right? So, man, and a lot of games hitting Game Pass this year, dude. This next 6 months is gonna be fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be fucking nuts. But now I got to make time for First Ascendant. It's added to my list. You know, I've been playing a lot of Diablo recently. Diablo 4 has been getting most of my time. I hit 100 on the Rogue. Still been doing some of the end game stuff there, kind of dabbling here and there, but more so now I'm just kind of like looking for other little things to try and play. You know, I even reinstalled Forza Horizon last night. I was dabbling in that and having some fun. I got to give a shout out to something else. So I've been hearing people talk about this because you guys know, I tell you this, like when at night when we're watching movies, whatever, in bed, I'll put up my tablet. I have a Samsung Galaxy Tab, like Ultra Tab, whatever, the bigger one, and I'll prop it up on a pillow in front of me in bed on its stand, and I'll grab my controller and I'll do console streaming from my Xbox and stuff, right? But like I always have to manage my installs and all that kind of stuff to pick and choose, and so kind of browsing through random games sometimes can be a pain in the ass that way. And I usually had stayed away from the Game Pass app on there for cloud streaming because the console streaming has been superior, right, to the cloud streaming for me.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, yesterday when I went to the Game Pass app and I was like, okay, what's one, like, I wanted to dive into the Game Pass app here and just do cloud streaming instead of the console streaming, right? And see how it is. I did Halo Wars 2 on there. And bro, I'm telling you, they've made some fucking strides with with the cloud gaming app. Because I was playing Halo Wars 2 and I did a whole long skirmish match with Sergeant Johnson and on normal difficulty versus the computer and stuff, and like it crystal clear, fucking very like I didn't really notice anything with the controller. I'm sure some people will with latency and stuff, but for me, no. Like I was playing, I was like, man, this is like I didn't have one hiccup, one tear, one anything. It was like pretty flawless, bro. So
it's pretty impressive for an RTS too. I mean,
yeah,
I didn't notice it.
I was thinking this is going to be a disaster doing Halo Wars 2. And I was playing on my tablet too.
Right.
You know, like, yeah, it was fucking great, man. Like I had no issues with this experience whatsoever. And I probably playing a skirmish match a night there as long as it keeps going like that.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, I was fucking shocked. But that has me even more excited for all these fucking games coming to Game Pass, because with that, those games also hit the cloud, and I'm gonna have access to all those and without having to have them installed when I'm in bed at night with my tablet. But also during, I can have them on PC if I want the craziest, best graphics possible for me, or then the regular great experience of playing natively on the console, which I do a lot too. So man, I just love the access points and the accessibility to this fucking ecosystem, man. Nobody, nobody does this like Xbox, dude. It adds so much weight to everything we're about to get, and I don't. It just keeps getting better and better and keeps improving.
People don't know unless you're in the ecosystem. I should give this a shout out while we're giving extra shout out to man, because I forgot earlier in the week. I was sold on this game in under 40 minutes. And that is Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, the demo. Everybody should go check out the demo and find out if this game's going to be for you. This is one of those Game Pass games coming. I played that demo literally for like 40 minutes. I was like, yep, I'm sold. I'm done. We're good. We are good. This game, by the way, folks, is absolutely it's like art. Okay. When you're watching it, I know all games are art, right? But when you see this game in action, and some of the combat, and then they also, of course, they must have been listening to me. Capcom has a photo mode in the demo, which is just simply phenomenal. You go into photo mode and you actually get to look at the details of what's happening on the screen. There aren't many games with this style. Like, this style is so unique. But Path of the Goddess is going to be special for a lot of people when it drops this year. It is a mix of everything. And again, it's not going to be for everybody because of the genres that they're kind of bending in here. But how they're doing it is freaking awesome. And again, just the style alone is worth the price of admission just to go check it out. Unbelievable. Super impressed. Exactly what I thought this was going to turn out to be by watching all their presentations and seeing all the clips that they've been putting out there is exactly what I'm getting in this game. That game is going to probably be one of my favorites this year. It is absolutely ridiculously good. So everybody go check that out. Sorry, I just want to get that quick in there because I forgot I played it because I've been so first Descendant heavy. Jesus.
Yeah. Right on, man. I had started it, but then with demos, I can already tell I'm going to be super into it. So I just stop it so I can play the full thing when it comes out. Brandon Martin, member for 1 month, says, "Hey Mav, I'm an Eagles fan. Go Birds." You made me say that on the fucking podcast, Brandon. You made me say go Birds, LOL. Fuck you, Brandon. But no, I'm just kidding. I appreciate you, Brandon Martin. Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan, and Eagles have been kind of a pain in the ass the last couple years. Let's just say that. Their stupid little 1 yard, like, 4th down play should be outlawed. Should be outlawed from the NFL. Bullshit. They win games because they can go for it on every 4th and 1 and like get it like that. But you know what? They're losing Kelsey. Didn't they lose Kelsey? Jason Kelsey?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. He retired.
Y'all are fucked. That move is gone now, guys. You gotta hope your other center can do it. You gotta hope. We'll see. Anyway,
you're mad that a team was actually smart in football, man.
Yes, I am. It's not fair.
A game of strategy. Oh my god.
It's not fair. that 4th and 1 play, man. God, I got to give him props because if the Cowboys had that move, it'd be like, hey, it's legitimate. It's in the rules. It's a great move. Like, whatever. But nobody else can do it. Only the Eagles can fucking do it. Everybody else has tried. Nobody else can fucking do it. Right? If it was the Cowboys that could do it, nobody else could do it. It'd be like, hey, it's because they're that good. But I got to say, it was probably because of Kelsey. So we'll see if that works, if that continues to work. All right, let's get into some. Oh, before we get started, I want to tell everybody something. So I've been using Restream for years on our channel. It's kind of how I do everything. If you see the fact that we're dual streaming to Twitch, or not Twitch, but Twitter. I used to do it to Twitch, and maybe I will in the future again. But to Twitter or X, whatever the fuck it's called, and also YouTube now, because I've been using Restream for years to do that, and also. I would usually back in the day would use the studio that Restream has and all that kind of stuff on some of the shows and everything. But anyway, we've been using it for a long time. I don't know exactly why, but they reached out and said, hey, we'd like you to be a partner for Restream. So I'm like, cool. Yeah, let's go. It did it. So today's the last day, but there is a deal for any content creators out there looking for multi-streaming, options, things like StreamYard and things like this, some of these other ones. But yeah, Restream is what I've always been using. I really like it. It's my preferred. And I have a link in the chat. Now, today's the last day for this deal. I don't know. They'll probably do other deals in the future, whatever. But they have 30% off right now. So it is an affiliate link. Put it in there. Check it out if you want to, if you're interested in that. But yeah, shout out to Restream for actually recognizing us and everything. So yeah, guys, let's get into some actual Xbox conversation, because we got this really strong pipeline here coming up. Like, I'm talking like nobody else has anything like this, and in the second half for amount of content we have for this second half this year, all in Game Pass, all these games we're gonna be talking about. Got Avowed, got Indiana Jones, Towerborn, Ara History Untold, like the game you're just talking about, Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess is hitting Game Pass day one. Stalker 2 is hitting fucking Game Pass day one.
That's
Call of
getting some
Duty.
good previews too, by the way.
Yeah.
Stalker 2's been getting actually good previews.
Really?
I was yeah, there's been some people talking about it that have played it that are saying that it is actually turning out very, very well. All things considered, a lot of people are saying it's playing very well. And it is staying true to the old ones in a lot of ways. So it is going to be a harder game. So but I'm just really good stuff coming out that I've seen people post. So I can't wait.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I mean, that's just another game that's Game Pass day one. Like, there's so many. Like the one you're talking about with the demo, Kinitsugami Path of the Goddess. Isn't Visions of Mana this year too?
Yes,
and
it's not on Game Pass.
Oh, that one's not on Game Pass. That's right. That was just
nope.
That's just a Square game.
That was
finally
a rumor.
Coming to Xbox.
Yeah, everybody was hoping.
Right.
Game Pass. Yeah, it's one of those. But
okay.
Chances are
no. We got Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 is hitting, right? Fuck. That's a huge deal in and of itself. Flight Simulator 2024. I mean, I know I'm even skipping some off the top of my head.
Did we mention Flintlock or no?
Nope, we didn't mention Flintlock yet, which is another one that looks great. But guys, this is like shaping up to be. Is this gonna? I think maybe the best 6-month run of since this generation, at least, for Xbox and content.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll have seen this before from Xbox, with the amount of third-party games coming day and date, the amount of first-party games coming day and date, all in such a short time span. And then we already know 2025 is shaping up to be amazing. So it's not like, well, that's cool. Like 2021, we had some pretty good second half, because you had Forza Horizon, you had Halo, you had some great games dropping in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it came with a price in 2022. That feeling is not here for 2025 for Xbox. We already know that Fable's coming. We know that South and Midnight's going to be there in 2025. But yeah, do you guys? First, I want to get this. Do you think this is the best potential 6-month run here for content in first party, third party, Game Pass, all this kind of stuff for Xbox? Fuzzy?
Absolutely. Like, I can't think of a time frame where we've had that much content coming to service. I mean, sure, we've had a lot of like indie or AA games come into the service prior, maybe one or two first party, but this is what, like four like AAA first party, like maybe 2 or so that can be considered maybe AA-ish kind of range. And then with third party, they're AA and above. And there's some indie ones that are going to be in there as well. Like, I think Replace is going to probably wind up landing before the end of the year.
Yeah, that was playable at Summer Game Fest. Yeah.
Yeah. Towerborn, Immortals 33 Immortals. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff. And everything that we've mentioned so far, there's probably still another 5 to 10 that we're forgetting about at this point. So yeah, this is probably the biggest stint as far as content within a short period of time that I've seen in a long time for any platform for that matter, to be honest.
Yeah, especially like subscription gaming, like in general, like this is like where the proof is here that of content, like the amount of content coming in a short period of time has not ever been delivered in subscription gaming like it's going to be over the 6 months period, culminating with Indiana Jones. But along the way, you got Avowed, you got fucking Black, you got Call of Duty, you got Flight Sim, then these other third party games, and it's going to be hard for people to ignore this. I really think they're all the doom and gloom. Y'all remember all the doom and gloom going on with Xbox in the first half of this year, like early on, and we're all just like, just wait. I've seen people talk about how there was ruts in gaming for the first half of 2024, how we're in such a rut. Now making posts because they're in a better mindset about what's coming, say like, oh, I had a great first half of 2024, but the second half is going to be amazing. Like, people are just realizing the games are here, right? And they're also kind of hitting. Like, there's a lot less. I know there's some issues here, but like, really, when we complain about the games that have been dropping more recently, it's more like nitpicky things. It's not like the broken ass shit we were getting in 2022 and 2021, 2020 before that, with like during COVID times, when it seems like a lot of these games they were just rushing to get out, a lot of these games are launching polished, like First Descendant. The state that's in, of being this kind of random. It's not random. It was highly anticipated, but it's not a EA. It's not a Ubisoft. It's Nexon.
No,
It's
Nexon. Yep.
And sometimes, we don't have the best faith with some of the publishers and dropping big service games, and them working great and that being a lot of fun. But a lot of these games are actually delivering and hitting right now, and it looks like like you're talking about, the Stalker 2 previews are positive. The demo for Kinutsugami Path of the Goddess, those that are anticipating that kind of game are really liking it. But yeah, Pong, is this the best stretch for coming up?
Easy. Yeah, easy. It is. It's going to be the best year and a half run, potentially 2.5 year run, potentially ever in gaming, with what Microsoft has got lined up. Yeah, no, from one publisher, it's this next year and a half, 2.5 years is going to be freaking insane, bro, with what they've got. This is everything we talked about, right? It's just taking longer to get here. But yeah, no, as far as the 6 months go, yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, we got Age of Mythology in there as well.
Oh, that's the one that I was skipping. Fuck, and that's one of my most anticipated.
I know. I was sitting here sitting on it because I was like, is he going to mention it or is he not? So yeah, Age of Mythology plus all the other ones that you mentioned, plus ABK titles finally starting to drop in here, according to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Game Pass has always been, for me, the greatest value ever in gaming. Again, we talk about it all the time. Could never imagine a service like this for kids, as kids, I should say, that we would ever have the opportunity to pay $17 a month to have access to this kind of quality. And especially, like you said, when you start throwing in the third party deals, it's just stupid. This year is just dumb with what is actually going to be coming in to Game Pass. So yeah, no, I just think that the second half is lined up perfectly. Obviously, like you said, Mav, it's all about how the games hit, but we've seen a really, really good stretch of more than what we were seeing, and obviously pandemic had a lot to do with that. But what we got used to, quality wise, when a game actually came out, remember when Hogwarts came out, we were like, holy shit, it actually performs well. What's happening? Yeah. We don't get games like this anymore. We're now actually in a pretty good stretch run. Now, depending on what you play, but for somebody who grazes a lot and who's tried a ton of stuff, this past year has been really good. Really, really good as far as quality goes. Sure, it's been some misses here and there, but I think that Xbox, the way that all their games are shaping up from now, what we've seen of them, even just go back to Avowed. And I bring up Avowed because Avowed didn't appeal to everybody when they first showed it. And there was some criticism of some, some technical stuff, right? It wasn't necessarily the game, but it was a technical now what they've shown, the polish that they've done on that game, like they've answered almost all those questions, in my opinion. Again, I didn't have any, but just listening to people who actually had valid criticisms of what they were seeing, they've answered all those questions. So if that's the case, and if Indiana Jones is going to hit the way that you and I and others think that it's going to hit, right? Yes, this is going to be one hell of a year. Age of Mythology is going to be on point. Flight Sim's going to be on point. Those are lock, stock, guaranteed. Most of the second party or the third party deals that we've got coming into Game Pass, those already look polished, already look playable. They've been sitting around cooking for a long ass time now. A lot of them have been pushed off. So yeah, I think this is going to be high quality, along with just being a lot of gaming like coming in to Xbox. So yeah, I expect this second half to be the best second half we've seen from Xbox specifically. And like I said, I'll say it right now, the next year and a half, even 2.5 years, could be the best stretch run ever for any one publisher as far as what Xbox has got lined up. And I really do believe that. That's not Xbox fanboy, right? That's not any of that nonsense. This is just looking at it from what we know already that's going to be out in the next 2.5 years. This is unprecedented. And again, it's because they own an unprecedented amount of talent and studios now. But Call of Duty is going to hit. It's already looking like the biggest, baddest Call of Duty in a long ass time. Even though I've loved the past two now, I thought they had a nice comeback. But everybody's on board. Treyarch looks like they're doing it. Man, you just can't stop these guys, man. You just can't stop right now. All these studios are firing on all cylinders, and this is what we were waiting for all along.
Yeah. I mean, you can pick one game and have like a long conversation about it, and there's too many to remember off the top of your head, really, about games that are either first party or third party deals coming into Game Pass day and date. It's pretty crazy to see the turnaround, I guess, from where they were before. And we've been, remember all the talk. Everybody just be patient, everything's coming, all these games are in the works. They actually have games, but everybody's like, Xbox has no games. Like, are you ignoring the entire amount of huge pipeline and roadmap that they have? All those games that were announced, a lot of people were. They were just ignoring it and just acting like it didn't exist. You talk about big games media or just random podcasters having conversations. It's always ignoring the fact that these things actually exist, right?
I think some of them don't even pay attention, man, to be real.
Yeah.
When you watch them, like the IGNs, the kind of funnies, like they were surprised at the showcase. Like they were surprised that these games were going to be like what?
Like what? Oh, they actually have games where these developers have been making things?
Where you been?
These studios that they've acquired have things?
They're supposed to be on top of things in the gaming space.
They get paid. They get paid to do this. And we've had that rant. They can't keep up with common knowledge stuff that's in this community. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Then you add on top of that like the expansion content for big games like Shattered Space for Starfield, Vessel of Hatred for Diablo, right? You got Sea of Thieves content, you got Halo content still dropping at a decent pace. You got Gold Road from Elder Scrolls Online just hit, and people are digging that. Yeah, World of Warcraft now as well. Like, there's just seems like just an endless fucking amount of content here in the Xbox world, and you add that up, like I was talking about, with the amount of ways to access it and you can play all this shit with a subscription. It's kind of nuts that this is the world that we actually live in now. And I think with this pipeline of content now that this games are going to be dropping, the conversations that they started having back in 2020, 2021, right, are going to start to come back now again to be like, oh, wow, Game Pass is pretty awesome. When you start hearing like the big games media and all that kind of stuff start pushing Game Pass again, you will know that they actually hit the mark here on the amount of content, because these guys like to save money too, right? Everybody likes to protect their fucking wallet at the end of the day, and value speaks. And when you have games like Indiana Jones dropping and Call of Duty, it's going to be too much to ignore, bro. But man, like even games like Avowed have been getting even more positive feedback lately with the previews, right? It's starting to make more traction there. And for me, that's like, I'm having a hard time picking my most anticipated game out of all this. But I would probably say right now it's for this second half from the Xbox first party, it's probably still Avowed. What would yours be, Fuzz?
It's a tough one because it's like some days well, all right, be honest, I'm really looking forward to Shattered Space. Just
Yeah.
as many days and hours as I put into Starfield, and in fact, I even told you guys I don't know if I'll play Forza on launch day. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Shattered Space. Also looking forward to Flight Sim. Want to see how that new iteration works out as far as like the different story quests and things like that. And then on top of that, Avowed. So it's like just focusing on a game, Avowed, yes, but
Yeah.
expansions and then Flight Sim, those are like the probably where I'm going to spend most of my time outside of some third party things, which even though it's third party, but it's an exclusive to Xbox. Stalker 2 is up there as well. The one of the original extraction shooters. That's more of just a single player setup where it's you versus the world or the environment, and just build up your character and stuff like that from each trip you take out there. So that's another one that's high up there for just this second half of the year. So, and if we get replaced as well, that's going to be in there. So it's just a matter of figuring out how much time I can spend on each game, kind of thing. And it's already problematic now where it's like, I'm still playing some old games. I'm still playing some of the new ones that come out, and it's like there's more new ones coming out, and I'm trying to go through some of my backlog of games I haven't touched in a while. Like I even revisited Cuphead a while ago. So
Oh,
it's
really?
like,
Wow.
yeah. Well, I figured I'd give it a second try. It's still hard as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just right now, as far as games are concerned, I'm just really focused on Shattered Space DLC, but Avowed is up there as well because I like the fact that it's third person now, or at least you have that option. I love that they've updated the combat animations a bit, and even from first person, like the magic gestures and things like that. The visuals remind me more of that CGI trailer, like what we originally saw, and I think that was like some of the criticisms that everybody had. It's like that first CGI trailer versus the way it looked when they showed the actual gameplay. People were like, oh, the first person magic doesn't look the same. Well, now it looks a lot better or a lot closer to that. And I'm going to be at the, switching back and forth between third person, with sword combat or even pistol combat, and first person for the magic combat just to see, how you cast the spells and things. But yeah, this is a loaded year. I'm still anticipating, Indiana Jones. It's not as high up as Avowed is for me, but that's going to be more of my nostalgia kick, which I'll see how that goes. If the hand-to-hand combat looks and is as fun as it looks in some of the trailers, that's going to probably steal a show for me as well. So it's hard to pick just one when you have that loaded of a deck coming, plus Diablo expansion as well, which I think I'm going to put Diablo down until the expansion comes.
Yeah.
So that way it frees up some more time for other games and stuff. So we'll see. I think we need to put a petition out there for the 28-hour day, so that way we have
There
at
you
least
go.
a couple more hours to game.
Yeah. Or work. They would just force us to work more, Fuzz. That's what we would have 12-hour work days instead of the average being 9. But yeah, I mean, I think about like even a game like Flight Sim, right? 2024, and like I'm actually kind of excited to dive into that and try out all the different jobs and stuff that they're putting into that game. Because I like simulators to an extent. I mean, I power wash it all the time. So, but like to think about all the stuff that they're adding and they're being able to get out and walk around too a little bit and stuff in certain environments, like it's just it's really fun and random stuff that you get to enjoy. So like there's that. Avowed, I'm really excited for Vessel of Hatred for the new character class to give that a go. But then you talk about even something else like Aura, History Untold, that nobody's talking about because it's coming to PC, right? It's not launching on console day and date. Fuck, man, like the more you learn about Aura, It's like that has a
It's
chance
gonna
to
be
be
fun,
one of the next big strategy franchises. And nobody in the Xbox world, podcasting and all this kind of stuff, really paying attention to it because it's mainly a PC game. Fuck, I'm kind of excited for Aura, bro. Where are you? Are you like? What's your number one anticipated game, Pong?
It's been Avowed
Yeah,
nonstop, right? It's been Avowed for me because I love Obsidian. You guys have heard me for years. So yeah, I have not stopped looking forward to Avowed. So that is my jam when it comes to RPGs. Again, I want Obsidian to do a Bethesda big giant open world someday. I
Yeah.
think they could do it with everything. We just had our latest interview where they confirmed, obviously, again, that there's no romance because they just didn't have the time. And they wanted to make sure they did it right if they were going to go the full romance route, which is a little bit of a miss this day and age because we know how the community does love the romance options for games. But I don't care. Like, again, they stayed with what they know best. And I've said all along that Obsidian is right there when it comes to world building, character development, choices. They are right there with any developer you want to put up against them. And so Avowed is going to be everything, right? There's a lot of other games. Age of Mythology, of course, for me. Aura. You just brought up Aura. Both of those are high on my list. Indiana Jones is extremely high on my list. But Avowed,
Indiana Jones, how much did it rise for you after that whole sequence that we got at Summer Games Fest?
Well, I was already sold. So again, as just an old Indiana Jones fan, what that did though was solidify the fact that what we saw from the first showing, that they understood the assignment when it came to the feel of combat and from the first person view of Indiana Jones, that showed me that they understood the atmosphere of the old Indiana Jones movies, that they understood the characters of the old Indiana Jones movies, that they understood what prime Indiana was like. And honestly, it's almost as if, what they said, they watched those nonstop, but it's almost as if they were they had like some of the original writers, like, from back the original scripts come in and write for them, because I couldn't believe how much they captured the entire spirit of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it was
so
like
yeah,
a
once I
long
saw that, I was
lost
like,
movie script or something that they brought.
like I said, I could sit there and watch that. Yeah, I could just sit there and watch it. They made a movie like that, I would be like, okay, I'll watch this. This is dope.
That's what it did for me, because like if I'm playing an Indiana Jones game, I'm playing it to be Indiana Jones and have an amazing Indiana Jones story and adventure, right? Like, and that what they showed me, that full like sequence. I know some people are like, oh, this is dragging on or whatever. What they showed me there was like instilled in me a lot of confidence that the story is going to feel authentic to the character and give me what I'm looking for in that kind of game, right? Because I'm not going to play that kind of game to have some kind of like grindy looter shooter experience. I'm not playing it to have some kind of like fast action gameplay or whatever. I'm playing that game to feel like I'm Indiana Jones in a fucking Indiana Jones adventure. And like that's exactly what they portrayed in that whole cutscene and all that stuff with the choo-choo guy and all that shit, right? Like that whole scene, it's just like that was. It's like they took it out of a movie and recreated it. You know, that's how authentic it felt.
But it was all original too.
Yes.
But it was all original. Like every set piece, it was Indiana Jones set pieces, but it wasn't copied from anything. And that scene wasn't copied from any of the other movies. And yet it's still captured as if it was straight from the movie, like one of the movies.
That's got to be so hard to do, man.
Oh, bro,
but you know what? We talked about this before. What did we talk about when we talked about machine games heritage and their lineage before, right? It was taking existing franchises and staying true to them. Because the founders of Machine Games came from Starbreeze, who had founded that. And what did they do? They took Riddick, right?
Yep.
And they took Riddick and they made that into one of the most beloved like movie character games brought to life with Escape from Butcher Bay with an original story, right?
Yep.
Then they what they do after that, they had The Darkness, which was another IP. That was a comic book IP and stuff, and they took that and made it another great take on an existing character and story. Oh, then okay, so then now they found those developers leave. They found Machine Games. So what are they handed? They're handed Wolfenstein, right? Or shout out to Boxenberger, Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein.
So they take over that franchise. Well, what do? They bring it to life in a new way, original stories, new takes on everything, but it feels so authentic to the world, to the universe, and do an amazing job. And then now they're handed the keys to Indiana Jones, and much surprise, wow, it looks like they fucking nailed this too, right? Machine Games, dude, like this will be the first big new creation we've seen from them as an Xbox first party studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a studio that, you know, brought us some amazing games before, and when we've all been wondering what are they going to make next, and it was Indiana Jones. We were all wondering if we were going to get another Wolfenstein or whatever, but this looks like it could be potentially their biggest, best game. It's very possible. Yeah, I think this is going to have a lot of eyes on it. I think this is going to be potentially the best Indiana Jones thing that we've gotten in years, a very long time. So I'm fucking really excited for that too. But it's still not trumping avowed for me. Like, I don't know. There's so much that, like, I can say Flight Sim, I'm excited to play that. Avowed, I'm excited to play that. Indiana Jones. Oh, Call of Duty, I buy every fucking year anyway. Oh, yes, I'm excited to play that. And this looks like potentially the best COD in years too. ABK games coming to Game Pass. Finally starting in August. Then you have the Aura, fucking Age of Mythology retold, which looks like amazing for RTS lovers and stuff like me. Bro, we are fucking feasting here. But all the people are dooming and glooming for so long over this, or like crying about this random little stuff, just like, fuck. And this is not stopping.
It doesn't even include all the third-party stuff that's out there.
No,
like, and this is what's
insane,
bro. Atlas is having a live showcase right now on Metaphor Refantasio, by the way, like right now, live.
Right?
And I was just looking. That game's gonna be ridiculous. And then of course we got Assassin's Creed, we got Star Wars Outlaw. Like the second half of this year is dumb. It is just crazy. But yes, Xbox still, even with all the stuff coming out the second half of the year, Xbox is still just dominating, just in sheer presence alone, because of how much they now have. It is just unbelievable what this is going to wind up being this year. We could be still getting new shit into December just because there's so much to drop.
Yeah. They're going to have another show in August with Gamescom.
Yep.
Or something.
No TGS though, which is a little surprising.
Yeah, that was surprising.
It was a little surprising.
I mean, unless they go so big or do some kind of developer direct later. Maybe they have so much content hitting that they don't feel like they need to do another show around then.
I don't think that. Well, I think it's more so that their partners will do the talking for them, so they don't necessarily need to do anything. Like Square's going to be there, Sega's going to be there, and both of them have stuff that's going to be released on the Xbox platform. Some of the stuff will be in Game Pass. So if they're not there themselves, I mean, and then there's also Kojima, which I still think OD is closer than people think. So
it's also possible that they're going so big at Gamescom that's going to kind of not really matter, you know? Like, because a lot of people were speculating that they're going to have like a really big kind of showing at Gamescom. Like Blizzard has a huge booth there.
Biggest booth ever. So is what they're saying. Biggest floor presence.
So maybe they're just like, well, we had a massive showcase at Summer Game Fest. We have Gamescom is like the most fan attended like event, right? So they're gonna have a huge booth there, dominate the presence there. So maybe they're gonna have a big showing as well with some kind of show. And then maybe it's just
also
like
going to be at China Joy later this month. Oh, well, not as Xbox, but some of their partners. So Snapdragon with the whole AI PC stuff, Blizzard with is it Netcom or NetEase is going to be there, and then there was another one that's Xbox related. I forget what it is now, but they're going to have a presence over at China Joy at the end of this month. So see how that goes as well.
What are you guys' opinion on what are the three biggest or what are the biggest third-party games coming out the second half? What's the biggest games? The Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yep, correct.
What else is up there with those? Because both of those, they have something else in common. Xbox marketing.
Yeah. And Black Myth Wukong.
Black Myth Wukong. Yeah.
Yep. It's another one.
Three. Man, yeah, this is.
Bro, my head has been on Xbox, so it's tough for me to think. There's so much more though, because there's a lot. Trying to think what else.
Anything else on my radar?
Was there Metaphor Refantasio's there?
That has Xbox marketing.
Atlas. Yep, that has Xbox marketing. Oh, I know. There's how many have been announced lately? Jesus, terrible.
Help us out, chat. Third party big franchise or big games coming this year. I'm talking about like big games. Like there's quite a few. I think the two biggest Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws.
I think so. I mean, you could kind of squeeze in the NCAA football.
Well, yeah, NCAA got NBA 2K eventually. Like, the usuals are there. But if you're just talking about those. Yeah.
I played FC 24 in Game Pass off the fucking.
How was that?
Really good, dude. They've had the EuroLeague soccer stuff going on, you know. So kind of like I had a little itch play, and it played just like FIFA. I mean, it's FIFA, right? But yeah, it played great. It played. I think that one I was playing on console streaming. It's having fun with it, but I don't have to fucking buy it, bro.
Nope, you didn't. It's great. It's freaking awesome.
There's one more sports title. It's not going to be a big title, but it will be a resurgence for boxing, and that's Undisputed.
Yeah,
it comes out in October.
You've been pushing Undisputed. You're gonna let us know at some point that you invested in that studio, right?
Yeah.
No, I wish.
It's all been paid advertising, right? You've been out here like Cog with Midnight Suns. You've been pushing that game forever, man. I know a lot of people are super excited for it, though, because boxing has been gone for so long. A good boxing game, like a legit good boxing game, for sure. Well, then you've got the Nintendo releases this year too. We shouldn't forget about those because we just had the Direct, right? So you're gonna have new Zelda this year with Peach. Or with Peach. Jesus.
Peach is in Zelda now, man.
With Zelda actually being the main character.
Yeah.
So that's coming out this year. That's massive. Obviously, Mario and Luigi for Nintendo fans is massive too. So we can't discount those because those are a part of it. What else?
Is Metroid this year or next year?
No, it'll be Switch 2. So it'll be a launch.
Admit says Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and Space Marine 2.
Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2 for sure.
Does that have Xbox marketing?
They have most of the Warhammer stuff.
Yeah.
So I would not doubt it. Xbox is a strong relationship with Warhammer.
I think we saw that at Future Game Show.
Yes.
The last time.
Yes.
Visions of Mana, is it considered big? Depends on who you ask. There's JRPG hardcore enthusiasts would probably say yes, but the masses and stuff probably don't really pay too much attention to it. But that's another one that they got marketing for.
Dragon Age.
I thought that was next year.
I thought it was this year. They said they're still aiming for this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, they're confident they're going to hit 2024. Yeah. Yeah, they reconfirmed that.
Oh,
okay. You didn't know that?
I dude, for some reason this whole time I thought it was next year.
Yeah, no.
Dragon Age is really this year?
Yes. Yeah. They're confident in it. So they said they're going to make it.
Fuck. And that's another one that has Xbox marketing.
Metal Gear.
Wait, Metal Gear's this year? I thought Metal Gear was 2025.
No, Metal Gear's this year.
I fucking like all these ones I've been putting off for. That's another one that has marketing for Xbox this year.
Yes.
Fuck, dude. Do they have marketing on all the big releases this year? Just about, besides Black Myth Wukong?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
For all the third parties?
That's about the only one.
About the only one, yeah. I mean, honestly, they've got a lot this year. They wrapped this year up. with a bow. Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah,
I
how
think
do
that
they get the fucking deals for all the big third-party releases in the same year, pretty much?
Money broke.
good, yeah, or just
I mean,
good planning. Just out
Ubisoft.
there with the partners. Remember all their partners. They got the strong relationships now with all these people. Like most of these, outside of your like Konami, which is a rare one, right? They've got strong relationships with almost all these people in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
All the deals they've done, all the work they've done with their partners. Again, all the stuff that people dismissed as, oh, that's just they're forced to do this stuff or it's just for cloud stuff. Again, it's all a part of a bigger plan and it's showing up now. So,
It's pretty crazy. Um, what overall just is it like Avowed is it your number one overall, or are you more excited for like Star Wars Outlaws?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It's up there. I'd have to really think about it with Star Wars Outlaws, just because I really like what I'm seeing out of Star Wars Outlaws. But no, I still think because it's a Western RPG, because it's from Obsidian, I still would probably put Avowed ahead of everything, just because I can't wait to get and I love the Pillars universe. So yeah,
I think people are going to be
Avowed
surprised how dark the Pillars universe is when they play Avowed. Like,
I'm a little worried though.
you think
The
they
way
toned
they're
it down?
I think they tone it down because they're like, oh, we have some areas and some decisions you can make and some of the side missions. You're definitely going to get into darker areas. But I really think that they went with their own spin on this world. I was hoping it was going to.
That Pillars world is fucking dark, dude.
Bro, we talked about from day one when we saw that trailer what the original atmosphere looked like. And again, I do agree with people that the original trailer had a different atmosphere, because when they showed that, I was like, oh, we're going
all
dark.
the skeletons and all that stuff.
We're doing the really dark Pillars. I think they pulled away from that a little bit. Again, does it bother me? No, not at all, because I'll wait to play it to see how it all shapes up, because I have the utmost faith in Obsidian that it's going to be a great, fantastic story. They've already talked about multiple endings, all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. Like that's totally cool to me. But yeah, I just think that certainly there's going to be dark stuff in there. Certainly there's going to be decisions you can make, just like Outer Worlds isn't. I wouldn't call that like a dark sci-fi by any stretch of the imagination, but you could do some pretty shitty ass things in that game. So I think they're going to allow you to do some pretty bad stuff in Avowed if you want to go down that path. So I'll wait and see, but I'm okay with it. If they're going to do something different, it's fine.
About you, Fuzz, is there a third party one that overtakes any of the first party stuff from Xbox?
I don't think so, but I'm real curious to see
Test Drive.
No. Well, see that one, I'm waiting to see how it pans out when it's actually released, because the beta test didn't go as well from a server standpoint. So to get that stuff figured out, that'll probably be like a shortly after release type of deal. But I'm really interested in Assassin's Creed Shadows, but I don't think it overtakes Avowed for me. But it depends on if they keep it reasonable as far as the time to play the game. Like if it winds up being like Valhalla, which I love the combat, but did not love the pacing of the story in comparison to like Odyssey and Origins. So as long as they make it so by 80 hours I'm like 90% done and not 40 to 60% done, I'll be happy. So we'll see, but Avowed's still above it right now for me.
Y'all see that there's like a petition with like 50,000 votes to cancel Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Yeah, just more internet nonsense. It is what it is. You can do 2024. There's so much nonsense out here; it doesn't even matter anymore. So whatever. Have fun.
People are so ridiculous. I mean, anyway, yeah, I just don't know what the fuck we're gonna do the second half of this year, bro.
And there's not going to be a break next year for everybody to catch up. There's no more breaks.
As excited as I am for the hype of this games launching the second half of this year, the games I'm most excited about are coming out next year. Right? Like with Fable, especially. Like Fable is like, fuck. I just can't wait. But it's possible maybe we get Clockwork Revolution next year as well.
Yep. That's one of mine. It'd be so freaking good.
Yeah. But yeah, this gaming is just absolutely insane, guys. So we talked about the golden age for a long time, right? We talked about it like this generation, like the compatibility, the accessibility, the all these different kinds of games, all the funding for all the games that had been started like years ago, and all this kind of stuff. This is what it looks like. This next 6 months, we talk about what Pong always says, golden age of gaming. This is what this shit looks like. And as much as people want to bitch and moan or complain or concern over, the future and of their platform and all these other things, or feel less special because somebody else gets to play a game and all this other kind of stuff, right? You look at the amount of games that we have for the price and the accessibility and access to it, looking the way they do, as big as they are. Fuck, guys, it's not just like, this is a buffet, a feast for the riches, dude, and like we get to take part in it. So I am super happy about this year, and I think the second half is gonna be nuts. I can't wait for all these games to start dropping. But yeah, but we got games like First Ascendant to play right now, So
Yeah.
there's no long dreaded rut to wait through or anything like that, because we've been playing the fucking awesome games all damn year, right? But yeah, man, I'm super happy about that. What's coming. Other than that, there's like really not any fucking big news or anything this week. There was the whole Apple thing with Epic. Do you see this? Like,
Yeah. It
Apple
was like a thread of
Apple's rejecting Epic's game store because of buttons. Yeah, the buttons are too close, and it's like Epic's like, these are like everybody's buttons. Everybody uses the same fucking buttons. Like, but Apple's like, no, these are too close to our buttons.
I hope the EU and the CMA smack Apple with like a couple billion dollar fine, and then if it's not resolved in like 72 hours, they're banned from the countries. I really hope they walk the walk and talk the talk over there and send Apple a message. We don't want you or need you here. If you don't fix it, bye. Bye, Felicia.
Right.
I hope they like, it was like similar with the whole Apple Watch when those things got confiscated because of the tech in it or something like that. I guess there was some sort of patent issue with one of the things on the Apple Watch, and some of those got confiscated. So they magically, quietly recalled them, or not recalled them, but like took them off shelves and things like that. So hope something similar happens to every Apple product. It's not that I can't stand Apple, but I hate Tim Cook. I really wish there was a way to bring zombies back, bring back Steve Jobs. This isn't the same Apple. He was a bit of an a-hole, but this stuff, this is beyond petty.
Oh, I guess they flipped it. Now it's been accepted after the public thing. So like the Apple reversed their decision. Oh man, it's ongoing stuff. There's also I didn't know this, but did you guys know there's a Watch Dogs movie?
And I think Pong had posted that in the chat or something.
Yeah,
that's what's in the works, and it's like,
begun
after
filming.
the Division movie.
They canceled, but didn't they say there's going to be no more games, no more Watch Dogs games?
Yeah,
but they greenlit a movie.
And there's no longer a Division movie, but there's a Division 3 in the works, supposedly.
Yeah, that's really interesting, right? Another thing that I wanted to, I'm just kind of going through all our DMs and the shit that we've been making fun of and stuff. So Steven Totillo had asked Sony about Lego Horizon Adventures and like, why are you putting it on the Switch, right? He said they said family friendly and a younger audience, basically, And then he says, so why not Xbox? And he said, they're focused. Their answer is pretty much focused on pushing the hardware PS5 to its limits, and don't have anything to announce about Xbox right now. So like the fucking hilarious thing is like they're putting it on the Switch, right? But for the younger audience, but the reason they don't put it on Xbox is they're focused on pushing the PS5 to its limits.
Here's the thing that gets me: 50% of Xbox or of PlayStation users are still on PS4. Why not put it on that?
Well, he said, why not PS4? He says, see the same Xbox answer, right? Like, it doesn't make any damn sense.
This is that same developer bullshit that we talk about all the time, Mav. Like, again, it's just like,
Oh, that was Jasper that made the DM. He's calling out for credit, Fuzzy.
Thanks, my bad, Jasper.
Just stop. Just stop pissing on me and telling me it's raining. I just don't understand why we play these games. Because again, anybody who knows anything reads that statement and goes, that makes zero fucking sense in any way, shape, or form. Again, just say you didn't want to put it on Xbox. How hard is that? You didn't want to put it on Xbox. Now, I will say the follow-up, that he had where he did say that, or the ending, I should say, to that comment where he did say, we have no news on an Xbox version right now.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
It is, because that's similar language to what we've heard from
they're
other
not ruling it out, like just
they're not
flat out,
right, and they just don't want to come out and say it, which is fine. Again, you don't have to tell us all your secrets. You don't have to do it, but to say that you're focused on pushing the PS5 when you're putting the game on Switch, come on, and you're not putting it on PS4. Come on,
this kind of game in general, there's no pushing anything.
There's no pushing fucking PS5 with a Lego game. Okay,
it's like again, the Ratchet and Clank shit about the only possible. That fucking bullshit. Like
is there ray tracing in Lego?
Maybe there will be. The DualSense is taking extra time, Fuzzy, to implement all the fucking features of the DualSense. That's what it is. Yeah, no, this stuff is just nonsense. Again, I wouldn't be shocked either way. If it never shows up on Xbox, okay, it's Sony, it's PlayStation, of course not. If it does, I still wouldn't be shocked because I do think they're thinking about it. And I do think they're thinking about some of their games, putting them elsewhere, especially something like Lego. Like, again, it's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to take away from Horizon as your exclusive to have the Lego version on Xbox. And it's just going to open it up to more people. And they'll get to see the best version, right, of Aloy. And maybe people will be like, I don't know why everybody said Aloy is so bad. I'm gonna go try out that Horizon game. Again, I like Aloy and I like the game, but there's no downside to putting the Lego version on Xbox. So I would not doubt a year from now this actually does show up on Xbox. It'll be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that would be the second
MLB too.
Yeah. I mean, MLB was forced though, Fuzzy, right? So that, even, you can hang on to that if you're a PlayStation fan. It was forced by MLB themselves, right? So this one would be voluntarily. There's nothing that says they have to put this on Xbox. So especially their own IP, right? So it'll be interesting.
In some sad news, Sakaguchi said he is not going to be working on or bringing any of those classic franchises back to consoles. But he was excited about potentially working on a mobile remake or something like that.
Well, that's his new game. That's the Fantasia thing that was announced at the Nintendo Direct. That was a mobile game.
No, he said Terra Battle. He said he wants to find a way to revive
Terra
the
Battle,
strategy
old
game.
school
Terra Battle for iPhones.
That's right. I forgot that part. Yeah. I was gonna say because this is actually the mobile game that they're bringing everywhere now,
right? Which
is dope. Yeah, I was a little sad. I put it in the DMs. I was a little sad. I was hoping Sakaguchi wanted to get back in.
It is weird we got that Blue Dragon dynamic background just randomly like that though.
Yeah, but Xbox does that shit too, bro. I mean, that was because of Toriyama, right?
Yeah.
Oh, because he did the artwork.
To him. Okay.
Yeah, paying homage. That's what that was.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sakaguchi. He's such a cool dude. He's still one of the goats, though, in my book. I don't care. He's one of the best of all time. Godfather. Crazy good.
I would love to see like another big game, but we'll see. Maybe one day. So the other thing I kind of alluded to this earlier, we talked about it kind of in passing, but ABK games coming to Game Pass potentially starting in August, right? And
Or
we
even before Jez said so.
yeah, and we had our show on at FSP this week. I think was about that, or last week. I can't remember. But yeah, we were talking about speculating on when are Xbox games come or ABK games coming to Game Pass. Like, is it time? And we said like I have a feeling it's gonna be happening soon. All of a sudden, all this news starts dropping about from insiders that hey, these things are getting to start happening. Jez had a tweet that says Crash Bandicoot trilogy could be happening in August. And I think was it Insider Gaming that said was it Tony Hawk? I think could be one of them, and Spyro or
somebody had said that. Somebody had said that they believe Tony Hawk was a part of that conversation too. But
okay,
I didn't see anything official.
yeah.
That anybody confirmed that.
Plus, was it Transformer games are relisted now too?
Yes,
Correct.
that too, which is interesting. I don't know if that's part of the process of them just going to the library and putting everything in the store, or if it's like
If it means they actually went back and got the licensing.
Like there's like some extra reason they had to do that, you know.
Hasbro said they were up for it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Hasbro said we'd love to see him back. We'd love to see him active.
and they can't.
It's an easy to cut a check.
I think they probably did it. I mean, they give people the rights to make shitty Transformers games. Why not put the good ones out there again? Yeah. You know, like did y'all see this other Transformers kart racer? Or like not a kart racer, but it's kind of like that.
You can either run as a robot or roll as an Autobot. Like, okay,
it's not what we would really.
What does Megatron do?
It's not really like just gonna like be a gun. You fly around as a gun. He has like a jet mode in some of the Transformers stuff. Yeah, wasn't he a tank at one point too? Can he like kind of do a tank?
Like,
yeah, it's like a tank, and they had a jet, and they had the gun.
I think they had that for like the second gen or something like that. But yeah, I just
remember
him as a pistol. And
yeah, he's just going into Soundwave's hand. Yeah, that was so badass. Every time he did that, dude, it's like I'm the gun. I'm gonna go into Soundwave's hand. Transformers wasn't listed on PS or something. Poison says I'm not sure everything going with that. I know that people noticed that the store listing showed up again, right? You can't buy it, right? No. It's just all the description and all the information showed up again. What I don't know is if it's just part of the process of them putting all the stuff from their catalog and stuff and just going through, or if it's Hasbro and then made a deal and they're getting ready for something, could be either, but it's there, so we could see that as part of these. So Jez's article says that he expects from like every month from now we'll start to see bits and pieces of the catalog hitting the service, which is pretty fucking awesome. It would be nice if it was all at once, but they're gonna drip feed it, and they already got a lot of other good Game Pass stuff lined up. But having this like extras, a couple games like just to add in there every month for like some of these classic ones, could be pretty awesome. But just as more Activision published games are headed to Microsoft's gaming subscription service, that's according to a report from leaker Extus on the Xputer forums, which this guy's gotten a lot of stuff right before, which indicates that the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy will be coming to Game Pass in August. Windows Central sources can corroborate this information, meaning Xbox players can look forward to embarking on adventures with the Wumpa-seeking Bandicoot in a few weeks. According to Exus, the Tony Hawk 1+2 remake and Spyro Reignited trilogy are also coming very soon, though they can't confirm that these games will be added in the same month. The Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy remastered the original three Crash games, which was handled by Vicarious Visions. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, yeah, he says a slow drip feed. More Activision Blizzard games in Xbox Game Pass would be cool, and I'm sure there's plenty of players who will be excited by this. While the dizzying breadth of genres that Xbox encompasses is extraordinarily comprehensive, family-friendly games are a weak spot that can often be overlooked, so having more family-focused games included in the lineup will be a great boon, I will say the rate at which these games are being added to the service is a bit surprising. He understands that Microsoft doesn't want to simply have one massive wave where everything is added and that's it, but still, I definitely assumed we'd have seen a couple more games be included in Game Pass by now. The current rate is going to be a long, long time before Activision's back catalog is placed in the subscription service alongside the rest of the Xbox first-party lineup from Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda. So that's from Samuel Tolbert on Windows Central. Overall, what I'm expecting is this drip feed thing, but I think that at some point there's going to be at least a couple Call of Duties or something hit at the same time. Maybe make a bigger deal about that. Maybe closer to the launch of Call of Duty to generate some excitement and hype around COD leading up to the release of Black Ops 6. Maybe they do the Black Ops games.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Don't know.
Yep. It makes sense. I still would like to know the story why it's taking so long. This doesn't make any sense, man. Again, I understand that you want to make it, last a while, and you're not going to just drop it all. But like, I can't believe it's taken this long, man.
Yeah,
I really can't. But here we are. I can't wait. Some of them. I don't care about Crash at all. Obviously, I don't care. Got plenty to play, anyways.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'd like to see some of the other stuff come in there, right? I'd love to be able to download Tony Hawk. I didn't pick up the remake.
It's really good.
So I'd love it. Yeah. A lot of people talked about it just for nostalgia factor. It's not gonna be something I sink hundreds of hours into. I'd love to be able to download it and just check it out and play around with Tony Hawk for a little bit. So I can't wait for some of those to start hitting, and we'll see what else actually drops in there too, eventually. But yeah, if the Transformer series can get in there, if they could somehow get Marvel Ultimate Alliance back in there, man, that would be where I'm like, okay, let's go, let's do this.
I got a little theory on why it's taking so long, and I've noticed this every time there's like a major outage of Xbox Live. They're doing something in the background with Game Pass, and we usually get an update Game Pass. I don't know exactly. Like one of the big ones was when they went from like just a regular Game Pass and then added Ultimate. There was a bit of a wonkiness where it's like, oh, you don't own this game. Like hell, I don't. I own this game. Why can't I play it? And it was down for like a day or half a day or something like that. And I think the next time was either shortly before or shortly after Bethesda. So maybe that outage was them playing around in the background, and then somebody either pushed the button and pushed something, before it was supposed to, or they didn't, check all the coding before they did it, and something broke on the back end, and they had to like, all right, yeah, we got to button up a few more things. But I think it's sooner than later, and I think that outage was part of it.
Could be the ownership too, your catalog, right? Adding that, because that's supposed to be happening like, and on top of all these fucking games that we just spent all this time talking about, right? We also are expecting all these other ABK games for Game Pass drops, plus also the catalog library. At least a good selection of your catalog will be available to play in the cloud. So those couple of different things are been alluded to from multiple people that's happening sooner than later. Plus, also there was also possibly more hardware announcement happening this year too, in an interview with Phil. So don't know if that's a controller or what, but there's still a lot of things to look forward to, plus Gamescom and all this other shit. Xbox is going to dominate the second half, bro. Just in general. And as bad as things seem at times, this is like over beyond like what I think anybody should have reasonable expectations for from a first party platform, is what we're getting here. So I'm super pumped about it. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Xbox Ultimate. Shorter show tonight. Again, not a lot of news or anything, but it was a holiday week. You guys have fun yesterday, the 4th? You shoot off fireworks, blow off any fingers or anything like that?
Nope. It was raining here nonstop.
Loss. Oh,
it was raining here nonstop. So until the night. So no, I was blowing people up in First Senate all day.
Yeah.
I played 12 hours yesterday. Fuck it. It was a blast.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yep.
What about you, Fuzz? Blow up anything?
Just Just fireworks, but didn't go out anywhere or anything like that. It was mainly hearing some of the gunfire. And no, it's not a bad neighborhood. It's just one of those things where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, people have their own property, and it's like, hey, let's shoot up in the air for some stupid reason. They do this around New Year's, and they do this around 4th of July.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know if they're shooting at the fireworks or I don't know. I don't understand it, but
Yeah.
at least nothing landed in my yard. So
That's good. Yeah, you do like roofing business, right?
Mhm.
I've pulled bullets out of roofs several times before. Just like it would be up on the roof, just inspecting it, looking at it,
Mhm.
right? And oh, fucking hole in the roof with a bullet in it, right?
Yep.
It is more common than you would think, just to fucking find holes on roofs with bullets in them. It's pretty crazy, but I probably at least like 7 or 8 times.
Wow.
Yeah, like I actually had for a while I like would like just pick them up because I gotta patch it or whatever, so I'd pick them up and I would like just keep them in my truck, so I had like a few there, and I was like, you know what, I better get rid of these because if I ever get pulled over, there's probably gonna be a question about why I have some like bullets here, just like used bullets here sitting in my truck, so. But yeah, multiple times, dude. It's pretty common. But yeah, yesterday we went to family's house, and people were making fun of me because I took a picture of me drinking a Mike's hard lemonade. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like the fruity drinks, guys. It's fine. Hey, I'll drink a Coors too, or Bud Light or whatever as well. I don't care. I'll drink beer, but I'm not gonna be ashamed of liking fucking Mike's hard lemonade or limeade or whatever. I like that shit. I also had a shot of vodka, and yeah, I think I had like 4 or 5 of those mics, and then the shot of vodka, so it wasn't too crazy. But yeah, we had like family kind of lives out a little bit into the country, not like too far, so they have like a decent amount of land there.
Your picture was gorgeous, by the way. So
Thank you. Which
Yeah,
one,
no.
me or the land?
no, not yeah. You with the mic was just gorgeous. It was
Thanks, man.
fantastic
I appreciate
shot,
it.
man. Jesus, no, the land, you dumbass. You were
Yeah.
just talking about the land.
Yeah, I took a shot of the sunset there and
Yeah.
stuff with the clouds.
Yes.
Yeah, so we had like some
Mm.
a pad there for launching the fireworks, and there was a truck that we had everybody that brought fireworks to get together, just like everybody put them in this truck. Now I will say it almost ended in a disaster
Of course.
because one of the first things that they did, they put up something, and I don't know if it was a malfunction or whatever because I wasn't close to it, but fireworks started shooting sideways towards the vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole row of vehicles. Well, the first vehicle in that line is the truck that I took a picture of that had the entire fucking bed full of fireworks, right? So they were shooting that direction, and one of them almost went to the back of the truck and exploded.
That would have been awesome.
No,
video.
I was telling people there though that as much as that would have sucked and the truck would have been a loss, the video probably would have ended up being worth more than the truck.
Probably.
yeah.
You just kind of hope it doesn't destroy anything else, right? But yeah, that was it was a fun time, and Kate had to have a liquid IV when we got home because she was too dehydrated from like being out in the sun, and it was fucking humid as shit last night, and drinking. So we got home, but then this sucked, right? We hear fireworks going off late last night. It's like around 1:30 a.m. And we hear fireworks and stuff are going off, and then the power went out.
Oh.
So I think somebody hit something with fireworks. And they didn't come back on until like almost 4 a.m. But it was like we had like 80% humidity. It was like 80 to 80 something degrees and 90 degrees outside. And yeah,
it was been AC usage. It could have just been AC usage too.
No, not it. It's actually relatively mild and cool for this time of year for us. At this
Even
time
when
of year,
it's humid. You guys don't run it?
No. Well, we run the AC, yeah, but like we're used to, it's usually like over 100, right? With still the good humidity and stuff. But like it's been the last couple of days have been like in the 80s and low 90s, which is great. I'm not complaining, but usually it's like 105 degrees at least at this point. So I don't think it was that. I think it was just people shooting fucking fireworks, because I heard it like outside, and then I hear right when the power went off, and it's like like I was like, what the fuck is that? And then the power tried to come back on, and it didn't, and then it stayed off for a couple hours. Anyway, don't know what happened, but anyway, everybody, this was a fun show, and I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. And yeah, we'll be back next week with a regular slate FSP, and we'll have our first PM in the PM in a while, and Xbox Ultimate. But Fuzzy, tell everybody where they can find you, sir.
It was awesome being on here with you guys tonight. Always love being able to talk about our hobby and everything. Love that we had a chance to interact with everybody in the chat. Thanks for you guys for coming out. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. For those that want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Fuzzy_Belvedere. Top podcast tomorrow, 9 p.m. 10 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. Me, Pong, PTK Blam on PTK Blam's channel. And then on Sunday, Pixelated Echoes, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Pixelated Echoes, just do a search on YouTube for Pixelated Echo. You'll be able to find us. Once again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then right back here on the Fun Speculation channel at 10 p.m. on Monday. Look forward to seeing you guys for FSP. Thanks again.
Right on, man. Appreciate you, Fuzz. Yeah, also, I will be joining y'all on Sunday.
You will. That's right.
Yeah. So I'll be joining y'all on Sunday. And
tomorrow night. Oh, you're going to join us tomorrow night too, right? On PTK.
Yeah, and also I'll be joining y'all tomorrow night on the shop.
Yes.
So y'all have 2 more doses of me this weekend if you check out those shows, which I highly recommend. 2 amazing podcasts. Pong Soul, what about you, sir?
Great to be back. Although I'm in vacation mode, so I'm just totally chill. And again, it was a light week of news. Like, I'm just enjoying the hell out of First Descendant being a gamer. Like, this is like my 4-day weekend. Like, I'm just freaking in cruise control right now. But it was fantastic to get back here and hear you guys' voices and talk about this stuff and have some good conversations about the First Descendant and lots of other things. Because again, this year is going to be probably the GOAT, which is insane after we just came off another year where we consider it a GOAT. So, but it's good to start talking about this stuff again, especially since Mav and I haven't had a show in a couple weeks. Chat, thanks for all coming out. I know a lot of you are in vacation mode as well if you're in America. So thanks for joining us again. Another light week, but love having you here, and nothing but love and respect for coming out and supporting all the shows as you always do. And if you choose to, please join myself and Steele tomorrow morning, because we are going live. That's right. Steele and I did get a chance to chop it up, play some gaming today. Hopefully Mav will be joining us soon as well in the First Descendant, because we haven't played with Mavo in a long time.
Yeah.
But we will be going live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, living split screen, where we're going to have, obviously, you guys know how we start the show. We talk about what we've been gaming. You know you're going to get a lot of First Descendant, because Steele is loving this game as much as I am. And so we're going to have a lot of conversation about that. We're going to have some rants too. We're going to probably talk some community stuff, because Steele's been noticing some things in the community as well. Plus, who knows what else we're going to get into. And again, our chat drives a lot of our show as well on a lot of weeks. So join us tomorrow morning for that. It's going to be a freaking blast. Steele and I getting together and doing our thing. And this is his work week, which means he will be awake. That man always has energy. But man, now he started working nights and he just rolls right into the podcast on these weeks. Yo, dude's on something else. So we're going to have some fun tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night, like Fuzzy said, the Shop Podcast, PTK Blam's channel, the best way to end your Saturday night. That's right, Blam, Fuzzy, myself, and this man right here, the one and only Mav. We will be talking a lot of the same stuff. PTK is enjoying the hell out of First Descendant, but we're going to get into some Xbox stuff as well, it looks like, according to PTK's post. We're going to talk about how great Xbox is doing there. So just have us on in the background while you're playing whatever you're playing. The Shop Podcast tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. And then, of course, next week starts all over again. You got to check out Double Barrel Gaming. You got to check out Mr. Boomstick every Tuesday for Xbox Factory. You can check them out 5 days a week. But Tuesdays, it's all good things green. 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Be there for that. And, of course, Mav and I should be back this week. So it's going to feel like it's been forever. Hopefully we'll get some news coming off the holidays into July. Maybe we'll get a little something spicy for Thursday like we usually do. But join us Thursday right here on the...
Oh, I lost you, Pong. You're... Hello, Pong?
Volume.
Yeah, he can't hear us either. I'm like trying to wave at him, but he's like completely oblivious to what's going on right now. I think his mic
I
is
think
like
on YouTube it shows that no. I was about to say I thought we froze, but no.
no. Pong is saying it's the golden age of gaming, folks. You gotta play what you love and love what you play. See you all real soon. Love you guys. And I think he's realizing now that there's an issue. We can't hear you, bro. No. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Pong says bye. Golden Age of Gaming. Have a good one. Peace out.
Later.